Good morning, everyone. The next topic in transaction concept we'll see is validation based protocol. So, it is also an optimistic concurrency control technique. This protocol is used for avoiding concurrency in transactions. So, until the transaction end is reached, updates in the transactions are not applied directly to the database. So that is followed here. So we assume that each transaction ti executes in these phases, 2 or 3 phases in the lifetime. Thus phases will be in order. So that is, each transaction will undergo these 3 phases in its lifetime, that is read phase or execute phase, validation phase and write phase. So it will undergo all these 3 phases in its lifetime, and these will be in order. The order will be followed the same way. So we'll see one by one what are these phases. First one is read phase or execute phase. During this phase, what is done? So all the transaction values will be read initially, and those will be updated on the local buffer, on the local variable of a system. So suppose there are 4 transactions. Suppose there are 4 transactions, T1, T2, T3 and T4. So they are having initial values like 10, 20, 30, 40. So these values will be stored in the local variable of transactions. So, and it doesn't update in our actual database, because all the transactions, once it will run to completion, then we can update on our database. But if they are not in progress, then we'll update on our local variable. So that is our first phase, that is read phase or execute phase. During this phase, transaction ti reads the values of the various data item and stores them in local variable of ti. That is, it doesn't update on the actual database. So second phase is validation phase. See, in validation phase, what is happening? A validation test will be done on all of these operations. As said you, see T1, T2, T3. So read write operations are there. So if read write are there, if read is there, write is there. So in middle, after read and executing, a validation test will be done on this, without causing any violation to our serializability. So once read and execute phase is done, once a transfer of $15 from A account to B account, that transactions you are running, $50 amount you are going to transfer from A to B. So after doing that operation, set of operation, will perform validation. So this update is initially done on local variable. Once it is validated, then we'll update on our database. So this is the initial stage. So first is read phase. Initially all read and execute phase will be done. After that, validation test is done. Validation test is done in such a way that it doesn't violate our serializability. Then the third phase that these transactions will go is write phase. If transaction ti executes in validation step, the system applies actual update to the database, otherwise system will roll back. See what it is telling you. If the transaction T1 has been run to completion, and it is also satisfying our validation test also, as in the step 2, it is not violating our serializability, then the system will apply these transactions, whatever in local buffer you have updated, that will further go and update in the database. If it is validated, if all the transactions has run to complete and validation is also okay, then the values in local buffer what we have updated will be updated on our database. That is the write phase. So we'll see, we know what is read phase, execute phase and write phase. Now we'll see what is validation phase. We have only said that in validation phase it is going to perform a validation test. So what is that validation test? We'll see. To perform a validation test, we need to know that various phases of transaction ti took place. We shall therefore associate 3 different timestamp with transaction ti. See here, each transactions will be given a timestamp. So those are the 3 different timestamp. That is, one is TI timestamp, like a start timestamp, validation timestamp, and finish timestamp. So each of your instruction will be in any of these three stages to go through the validation test. So that is start of TI. This is your start of TI timestamp. Here the time when TI started its execution. That means the transaction TI here, where first read or write operation is done, wherever first instruction is being read in transaction T1 TI, that will be your start time. That is the start time for the transaction. Then second timestamp is your validation. That is validation of TI. The time when TI finishes its read phase and started validation phase. So this is your second stage in the previous case. That is when T1 finished its read phase. That is transaction T1 finished its read phase and started now validation phase. So at this time is given. One initially at the start. Next, when validation is going to be done after performing read or execute. After read and execute instructions, you're going to do validation phase. So that time is your validation time. Then third is your finish time. That is the time when TI finishes its write phase. That is first it is going to read and execute all the instruction. So at the start will be a start time. Next, when validation you're going to do, that is the validation time. And third is when it finishes write phase, when this is going to update your local variable, that is your write phase. At this time also time is given. So when it finishes this phase, then that is your finish time. Finish. After this finish, then it will enter into the next transaction. So these are the three different timestamp associated with each transaction TI. That is start of TI, validation TI, and finish of TI. Here we are going to determine the serializability order by timestamp ordering technique. So here how you are going to check the serializability order. See, your timestamp of TI, that is TI at what time it has entered, that is given as timestamp of TI. So if this is equal to a validation of TI, this is one way of checking your serializability order. Timestamp of TI is equals to validation of TI. So how validation of TI is done? Next we'll see validation test. The validation test for transaction TJ requires that for all transaction TI, one of the following condition will hold. Suppose there are two transaction T1 and T2. So transaction of T1, if you're running the instructions first, then transaction of timestamp of T1, the timestamp of T1 will be less than timestamp of T2. Based on this, we'll have based on this the condition should hold. Then our validation test is going to satisfy. That is finish of T. See, the validation in validation test for the transactions Ti and Tj, Ti has arrived first and Tj has arrived second. So in that case, the timestamp of T1 will be less than the timestamp of T2. Based on this, the following three conditions should hold. So here what it is telling, first condition is finish Ti is less than start of Ti. That is T1 instruction and T2 instruction is there. If here read you are doing, write you are doing, if this has been finished, then only you are going to start the T2 instruction. Right after finishing T1, like suppose I have arrived first to purchase something. If I have done purchasing and I am leaving the shop, then the second person is entering. This is one case. Then this is the serializability. See, since T1 finished before Tj started, hence serializability order is indeed maintained. That is, I have finished all my work in that particular shop and then I am leaving. Then after me leaving, the second person has come again to perform set of operation. So this is your finish of Ti. I am the Ti person and the next start is the other person. If this condition is satisfied, then it is your in this, like this is your first condition in validation test. So since T1 finished before Tj started, hence serializability order is indeed maintained. See, listen carefully the second one. Now here start of Tj, that is second person's start of Tj is less than finish of T1, as finish of T1 has not yet finished. Suppose I'm the first person, I have not yet finished, still the other person has arrived. Still I'm at the billing counter and the other person has come in that line, so it has already come, so his time is less than my time because he has come before me finishing, only before me leaving the shop he has entered the shop and he is there in the shop. Then this is his time, start of Tj, his time is less. Suppose he has arrived at 1:55 time, like suppose, one second, suppose he has arrived at 1:30 and I am there at 2 p.m. He is arrived at 1:30 p.m. and 1:30 p.m. is less than 2 p.m. and less than the validation of Tj. Here this condition, you see, the start of Tj is less than finish of Ti and this is less than the validation time. So validation time is taking more time to, it is taking the larger time than these both to perform validation on these instruction. So here the set of data items written by T1 doesn't intersect read by Tj. For this I'll tell you with example here. Suppose these are your two transactions, Ti and Tj. So in Ti, the person has arrived at 150 arrived, and the other person arrived at 154. So this first person still at 154, he's like Ti has not exited still, whereas Tj has exited at 1.55. So here suppose if they are reading variables, if both are reading x variables only, then whatever he is updating in 154 time, suppose at 154 like this has entered at time 154, so at 154 he will read x variable value which he is updating. Once the value of x was 10, in later stages it is becoming 50 or something, so that 50 he will be reading Tj. So that will lead to our wrong values if they are reading the same variable. So to resolve this, we should assure that both are reading different variables. As T1 is about to leave the schedule, like finish its execution, and T1 see 54 only at time 1.54, this is the reading the variable. As y is not there only in T1, then there will not be any conflict of values reflecting. So we should assure that both are reading different variables. So it is telling here, the set of data items written by T1 doesn't intersect with read of Tj, because both are both the transactions are running concurrently as the time is overlapping. If both are reading the same variables, then the values might conflict. For that reason, we should assure that both are reading different variables. So it is telling read set of Tj is disjoint with write set of Tj. So this we should assure, read set of Tj is disjoint with write set of Ti. So we'll see here with an example now. Suppose there are two transactions, T1 and T2. So here we should assure that timestamp of T1 is less than timestamp of T2. Here read of B instruction is done. Okay, it has finished. The next concurrent execution is this. Next concurrent execution is read of B. Here again further operations are done. These all has been updated on our local variables. So next is read of A. So it is going to read this value, validate the value, then display. This is our stages: read or execute, validate, and then write. These are the three phases of validation test. Then again it will go to T2 transaction. Here also read or execute, this is our first stage, then validate, then further write. Here also read or execute, then validate here, then write. These are the 3 stages each instructions will go through in our validation phase. Okay, so here finally we'll conclude that in validation based protocol there is no cascading rollback taking place. There is no cascading rollback taking place. There is no cascading rollback taking place, as we don't see if there is a system failure, one will lead us to roll back all the instructions, all the other instructions also roll back. That will not happen here, because after performing read and execute, we are going to perform a validation test on our instructions. So there is no cascading rollback taking place in validation based protocol. So next is starvation can take place. See here, starvation can take place here means one thing can occur that long instructions are if long instructions are being executing, then in case small instructions has to wait for the long instruction to finish, or else some waiting time is given for them. So this can occur here. Starvation can take place in validation based protocol. Next is deadlock doesn't occur here. When timestamp ordering is being done, no, then there is no chance of deadlock occurring here. So finally I conclude about the validation based protocol. Thank you.